everyone.
Yo, what is good, y'all boys? Welcome back to Beyond Bounds. This is episode 5. I'm your host, Juan, Pescador, 20-year-old dunk, 5'7", 20-year-old dunker from Florida. I'm going to pass it on to my co-host here. We'll get on with the podcast.
Yo, my name is Darshil Sheth. I am a 5'6", barely in shoes, 21-year-old dunker from California, and I'll pass it off to Jayden.
I'm Jayden. I'm 5'6". I'm from New York, and I'm trying to aspire to be one of the greatest, if not one of the highest jumpers in the world, and one of the best short dunkers to live.
To
We're
live?
gonna get this. We're gonna
To
get this
live?
started. To live,
To live. Okay.
to live and die.
He is a lot. That is true. Wow. Okay, so
Don't ought Mortem.
we're so this is what the podcast is gonna be up today. We're gonna be talking about jump technique because a lot of us have all three of us have our own experiences with jump technique. But me and Jayden used to technically also Darshil because we also helped him out with this technique as of recently. So we'll show you the improvements on that. But me, Jayden, and Darshil used to have very short penultimates. For me, it started off like I didn't have much of a short penultimate at the start, but then I honestly looked at like Anthony Height and kind of was like, oh, I should be more like him because he can jump 50 inches. I was totally wrong about that, and then I switched back to like a longer penultimate, and then it improved especially when I got on THP. And then Jayden, and we'll continue with Jayden. Jayden, what's your experience like? And then we'll show the videos here.
All right, so with my experience, actually. I actually tried getting a long penultimate for years now. The, I've tried getting a long penultimate for years now, and I've always struggled with it. Hold on. Sorry.
You were struggling.
No.
You went through
Yeah,
depression
sorry. The
with
dog.
the short penultimate.
I always struggled. I always struggled with my technique when it came to like jumping. I always had like a short penultimate, and it was really hard to break out of that habit, and it really came down to me actually being willing to take a break, knowing that I won't jump high. And I took about a month, give or take, about a month. It was December 2024 to January 2025. As you know, if you watch some of my videos, and you could see that in one of my videos, I show my technique from the start process, and then kind of what it looks like after. So I definitely wasn't jumping my highest because of the switch, but my technique was looking pretty decent, and it was all about the rhythm and sensation that really had me jumping higher. So that is definitely
Mm,
that.
yeah, and it's looking good now. Looking like he about to get his first flush soon because he's gotten
Yeah.
like a couple like baby dunks, but he gonna
Uh,
get it soon. It's about a matter of time. But Darsho, how about you?
All right, so it's worth noting that when I first started stuff, I actually had a decent penultimate step of sorts, but I had a really terrible block foot, something that I think has stuck with me for the last couple of years now of jumping. But as I kept going on, right, especially when I added more steps and everything, I have terrible issues with coordination and rhythm in terms of being able to get that. So combining really bad rhythm and then really bad block foot led to me being able to do a penultimate step kind of just not happening because of the fact that I couldn't get that proper thing down at all. So a lot of the time it's just been I've been going on and off in terms of sometimes trying to get good technique, and a lot of the times I would just look over videos and I would just get freaking depressed, and I would just keep going back to old technique or the really bad technique because that's at least what allowed me to jump higher and didn't make me feel honestly depressed on it. But the last like couple months or so, I've been a little bit more serious in terms of trying to fix it. But in some senses, I was still going through some of the same issues that I was having, but been doing a little better. And then luckily with our two hosts here, I have been able to at least get somewhat of a decent block foot now, and now it's just being able to get my rhythm going. And yeah, we'll talk more about that in as we go
Yeah.
throughout the podcast.
I want to mention this now. For you specifically, I feel like your block foot can only get so ideal due to like mobility concerns.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. Yeah,
Jayden for sure, because it looks like Jayden has a lot more internal rotation, so he can achieve that ideal position. But then the reason I showed you, like that you look like Austin Burke, which we'll show the videos in a second here when you jump. His block foot is definitely not perfect, and you can see that it's a lot more like yours. So I feel like with mobility concerns, you can only achieve so well of a block foot, but that doesn't
but
mean you can still like have better like good transfer force basically.
and I feel like if there's one thing that I even learned even from there, right, it's that even if my like block foot's not in the most ideal position, it is properly amortizing now. It isn't like leaking as much energy as it used to. And that
Yeah,
was probably even a bigger reason why I couldn't use it fully. It wasn't just like the fact that my mobility is not ideal for it, but it was also because I wasn't amortizing correctly either.
yeah. What do you think about that, Jaden?
When it comes to the block foot, it really comes down to sensations and the cues you use. And
Yeah,
also, another huge thing that will definitely carry to your vertical is intent. If you don't have intent, you will not jump as high as you're possibly able to, you know?
yep. It's
You
all
won't
about
reach,
yeah how well you
yeah,
can transfer the
you won't
force.
hit your genetic potential that you have at that moment because of the fact that you're not trying, basically. Let's say you're trying 90%, you want to try 100, 120%, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're not going to get 120, but the intent is to get that 120% because you're using almost every single last bit of that intent you're able to. Doesn't mean to
Brother.
force it,
Yeah.
but definitely does mean to be more intent, which, and if you don't know what intent means, it's just how, I guess, how efficient you make yourself become in that single moment at
In simple terms, it's just how hard you're trying.
yeah, at a certain task you're doing.
Hmm.
So
Yep. All
definitely
right.
makes a big difference. And in one of
Yep.
the videos, you'll see that.
Yep. I 100% agree. Let's get to these videos here. So yeah, we got a lot here. Let's go here. We'll start off. I'll
Which one are
start
we
off with.
looking for first?
So I'm gonna start off with some of my videos. So we'll go to my first rim touch here. We'll go here. So here you can actually see that I actually had a pretty decent. Here, wait, let me see how far I can actually. Let me turn this. Let me turn this down. I don't even know if they can hear that, but see, I actually did have like a pretty good push here. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is my first rim touch. I had the most intent here, so with this push right here, I was actually able to get a pretty good jump here and
Wait, you were
get
left,
my first
right?
rim. I was well, yeah. I started off with left right, but then I started getting tendon pain, so then I switched to right left, and then I kept with that. But now I was back to left right because of knee pain. So, but
Your right
now
left
I
look way better.
yeah now I can't do either.
It's
Well, no, this was when I like first was doing my
the
technique.
penultimate step is decent. It's the block foot
Yeah,
that's more staggered. It's kind of
yeah.
what
This is
Darshil has right now.
Yeah, exactly. And this was my first jump, like one of my first like not even my first jump, just my first rim touch. So, and I already knew my technique wasn't good. Like I didn't know how to use more intense, so I was just like kind of doing random cues. So then here, this was my first dunk on. This says 9.6, but this was like actually like about 9.4. And then you could see here, yeah, short penultimate here, as you could see, not the best. And then I get the dunk like right here. So yeah, not the
Bro,
biggest penultimate, but
you could have dunked on 9-7 there, bro. Or nine
probably.
eight
Well,
with good technique.
yeah. The thing is though, yeah, the thing about the short penultimate is that it's easier to time. It's
It
easier to
is,
time,
yeah.
and it's easier to just like when I would cue to use more intent to like jump harder, I would end up having a shorter penultimate. So I feel like that's
Yeah,
also something to note. This is my first like
I
I think
understand what you're saying.
this is definitely a 9.10. So this is my first 9.10 rim grab right there.
Nice.
Actually, I don't think it was my first, but I think it was like
One of the first few.
yeah, yeah. I was like, look at me, look at my reaction. I was like, what? Impossible. I didn't know I could do. I didn't know I had this power. And then yeah, so then let's see. What's this other video here? Okay. So then this is another one with my short penultimate. This one I used to dunk barefoot. Bam.
It's actually easier to. That's how. Also, what forced me to have a short penultimate is because I would always start my first dunks with a self bounce dunk, and I would always try to overcompensate
Yep.
for the fact that I have to do the self bounce. So it's all about
Yep.
timing.
And that's what I
Yeah,
mentioned
That's
earlier
what
with
gave me that short penultimate as well,
I
because
think
I was
yeah.
that's
trying to
like
time
back
it.
like back when I was doing like more self-bound and like backboard stuff. That was the same thing with me. Like just being able, and that probably enabled my short penultimate even more, just the
Yeah,
timing being a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was mentioning before with Travis Reynolds. That's why he does so many bounce dunks because they're a lot more natural and just easier for him because he has a short penultimate and he can time it a lot better. So yeah, that's just an example right there. And this is me with actually a decent penultimate here because I was trying to dunk on this kid, so I had to use some intent here. So let's just watch and learn.
what rim height is
You gotta watch out, man.
what rim height
This
is
kid.
that?
No, this was a small room. This was like I don't
Oh,
even remember. We just lowered it. Um, and then okay, yeah. So with all that being shown, that's what it used to look like. This is the last one. This is me using a bit of intent here.
this is now.
Trying to. This was nah. This was like a few months into THP. Look, he's like, look. I was trying to touch this, and then look.
Can you
he
touch it now?
didn't want. I could probably no. I definitely could now, at least for sure. This is when I started off in THP. I was doing the dumbbell workouts. That's when I was still trying to like perfect my technique. Now this is what it looks like. This is off a left right approach. Yeah. So this is what it looks like now. So that was my highest jumping day ever. So here I have good rhythm building up into it. And then into here, I'm planning under my center of mass, able to push really hard off that, getting the ideal position, rolling off the foot, pushing as
Nice.
hard as I can with the perpendicular shin, almost perpendicular shin to the floor, leading with the knee here, um, and then trying to reach and cover as much distance, doing all this as fast as I possibly can, and then
I need to start
transferring
doing that
force
again.
as well as I could here. So then, and bam. So yeah. That's what it looked like for me, and then we'll look at some of Darshil's videos. Which one do you want to look at first? Because there's a couple here. You want to look at these first?
Sure, you could show the sideways ones, but I think like the sideways ones show like the rhythm more, like how bad it is.
Ah,
And then
yeah,
the more like think diagonal ones show how the full picture looks like, I guess.
yeah, yeah. So,
Right, is that
you were sitting there
yeah,
for like a whole hot second here. You're looking.
bro, I can't fucking throw a lob, as you can probably tell. Oh shoot,
Okay, so
I
look,
just I cursed. Oh my bad.
you're good.
Oh God,
So it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's
the
not
lava.
terrible. It's just you look very jittery. Like you look like very like uncontrolled in a
And
sense.
then I think that one, like I have decent speed coming into it, but then
Hmm. This one you have better rhythm for sure. Way
yeah,
better
but
rhythm.
it's but I
This one was
still
more
like
like recent though, right?
no, that's a year ago.
Oh, really? Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one has much better rhythm, but yeah, you just shorted the penultimate. Bro, imagine like look at this position you're hitting right here, dude. Whenever you can jump 45 plus inches, you're punching that. But
And
let's see
I
here. And
I
then we
think
got you
yeah,
got
while
these
we're
videos
looking through
too.
some of this stuff, I think it's important to like say why does a long penultimate step matter? It's really just physics in terms of the fact that you're trying to maximize impulse. Impulse goes off of elapsed time and applied force.
It's really
So
about
if you have less time in terms of how much you are in terms of flight, it matters in terms of the amount of force you're able to eventually have at takeoff.
yeah. It's really about like yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like even with people with a short penultimate, if they can cover that distance, which something I used to be able to do, which we'll show in these videos soon, you
Mhm.
can see that I do jump high because of the fact that I'm able to create more impulse.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm
And
still
then
hitting those eccentric velocities.
yeah. in this one, he also doesn't have the best rhythm or coordination here, but he actually gets up pretty high here. Actually, his rhythm's a little better than the other ones. Oh, that yeah,
As
that one.
as as you guys, as people who know that follow me, that reel is infamously gone viral.
Yeah. I remember there's this one of the top comments. He was like, "I thought bro was about to have crazy
Hmm.
bounce." Dude.
Rose, I was just starting to like I think
Oh my god, dude. What height was this?
No, no.
um no, I'm pretty sure like I think I put on my caption and edited it, but it's probably like 9899 somewhere around there.
Dog. This is what I was saying, bro. Here, this is probably like around that same height because usually like this, I don't know what court this is, but this I don't know. I just have instinct. But yeah, bro. Like
It's slightly higher, like 99 and a half,
you
maybe 910.
you give brother a good day and it's over. Um, and then this is his technique now. He's like working on here. Let me show actually these one-step approaches. So this is him working on his one-step approaches. Right here, this is exactly why I told him that he should look at Austin's technique because of I think it's because of his hip anatomy to where he like kind of goes like from like he like shifts in a way if you know what I'm saying. I could try and look up Austin's technique here on this other tab, but yeah, with what I was saying, like he kind
Like
of moves like to the left as he pushes
yeah,
off his penultimate. So
I
that's
think
exactly what we're doing as well.
every time I've studied my technique, right, when I'm trying to do like a long penultimate, there's like that slight like lean that I have onto one end.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not exactly a bad thing because like it's mainly just because of anatomy reasons. So yeah, if you're looking at that, and then we look at some Austin Burke here, some greatness right here.
Oh
He
my
does
God,
the
it's the
same
Berkmeister.
here. He does the same thing here, and he jumps like a beast, and he has a good penultimate too. Pushes off really well, but see how he has like that kind of like his. It's like his hips are pointing like more outwards, more external rotation. So that's
Yeah,
exactly like, and with how you squat too, you do also have more external rotation in your hips. So that's definitely
There's not
I
the.
think
Do you see?
it.
Is there much knee drive when he does it though?
yeah, for sure. If you look here, oh, you mean you're talking about Austin?
Yeah, I feel like that
Yeah,
was. I feel
for
like.
sure.
Let me see.
I definitely think so. What
Let's
was the
see
frame by
here.
frame? Yeah, look, see,
I'd say so.
Yeah,
and then he
I don't
really
know. I feel
has
like
to cover that
he
distance.
he brings it down quick though, but he definitely gets velocities fast.
Yeah, I mean he's hitting the right positions though. Just with like see he's pushing here. Um, he could probably get more of a roll on the foot, but this is fine. And then here see he's getting his knee perpendicular when he leave. I forgot what it's called exactly, but it's the first frame of him leaving of his penultimate leaving the floor, and he's in a perpendicular knee position here. So, and then he's reaching out, trying to cover as much distance as possible, and this is what I mean. You see his block foot; it's not exactly like perfect, but it's still like pretty good. So, this is probably what would be ideal for someone like Darshil. And then he converts the force really well when you look at it, and like,
I think
uh,
one thing that I at least found when I was studying Austin's technique, as per recommended, was that Austin tends to go for like when he starts his approach, he has a very heavy curve, and but as soon as he gets into his penultimate step, it's almost like straight to the rim.
yeah, bam. Let's watch him. Yep, look at Austin. It's such an inspiration right here. But yeah, and then we have some more clips of him doing pretty much the same thing the whole time, which is good. Because then once he gets these motor patterns down, he becomes habitual. He'll be able to produce as much force as he possibly can. Because the reason like people will produce more force with a shorter penultimate than a longer penultimate when they're first starting out is because they're already used to those motor patterns. But we'll get into that later. Then we have him with an approach here. I actually don't think I saw this one, but that's not bad. Let's see. That's good. Yeah, that's a good way to practice. You're going really slow here, and then Bam. And then I think you do hit the right positions here. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Pretty good. You would want to roll on off the foot more. You're getting the length, you're just not getting the roll, so you want your shin more perpendicular.
Yeah, I think particular to that session, I was just going through, I think off
Yeah.
podcast we talked about it. I was just going through some weird health issues.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I wasn't able to push full intent on that session. I kind of know that.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I still got like the sensations of it. I just need to get that rhythm down just a lot more now. Because
Yeah.
like I can't get it consistently down as
Yeah.
of right now.
And that's where the cues come in. So yeah, here you would just think of like rolling through the foot, like literally like the way. Can you see my camera right now?
Yeah, I can see your camera.
Okay, so it's like literally rolling like this, like rolling forward through the foot, or you can imagine like going and trying to get into like a lunge position, so getting that penultimate leg at a 90-degree angle. So that'll help with also that. But and then we'll look at this one here. Same thing. This one was way better. This one was way better. You hit good positioning here. Yep, that's beautiful right there. That is what you're looking for. This is Jayden. Look at this. You see this? This is beautiful right here. This is improvement. And then let's try to see it. That one was pretty good. I think just like
There's a
now
lot of
here, just
energy
like
leakage
putting
in the
more.
block foot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna mention. Yeah, now here
I
is
was
just
saying
like
that to
putting the
someone I
intent.
was working with yesterday.
Yeah, and that's
And
the
when they put more intent, they started jumping higher for the windmill.
Yeah, and that's the
mm,
thing. Like here with Darshil learning like piece by piece, cue by cue, that's where it gets like more difficult is like piecing it all together because then you'll get one thing right, which he got the penultimate like pretty much perfect here. He got the penultimate perfect, but then now he has to fix that. And then maybe when he fixes that, then probably realize like, "Oh, now my penultimate wasn't as good. Now I got to fix that." It can be kind of like a back and forth thing when you're trying to learn that.
There's also
So yeah.
block foot speed. That kind of is coincided with um
Getting knee to knee.
intent.
yeah, yeah.
Block foot speed. It's also what gets you into that knee to knee position.
You
How
mean
fast you're able.
short ground contact times?
Yeah, yeah. You get
Okay.
no. That's not what I mean.
Well, I
I mean
think what you're trying to say, like
when
basically, you always, yeah. I think you're just like trying to say like with that quicker block foot, right? That's literally for one gets you to knee, and
yeah.
two, it's a lot of the equation in terms of being able to have less energy leakage from what I'm currently going through.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, just
Yeah.
that block foot, if you're able to like kind of like jab it faster, one, you're gonna have more rate of force development on the ground for that one step, which is obviously creating more impulse. You're also getting to that knee to knee position more quicker due to the fact and like when you're in air time. I mean, like you're at knee to knee at air time. Like you're not touching the ground, you're knee to knee because of your fast block foot.
Mm, yes, sir. Um, yeah. So now, with that being said, let's look at Jaden's previous technique. So here, yeah, you're gonna see his technique here. Hey, it like looks like you're floating, dude. It looks so weird.
I like
Let me
it's like
slow
I
motion
used
right
to
here.
roll through the penultimate, but I would just like
Yeah, you used to like
I would
literally
have my
like
knee high and I would just
all
go like
roll, no
floating.
length,
Yeah,
or, or like
because I wouldn't have that feeling of like hyperextending my hip. You're not actually hyperextending your hip, but it kind of feels like I'm kind of like stretching that hip, you know? But now
Like
like
mm,
you're
before there it was kind of like a big like a little push and I just land into it like a depth drop.
look at those
mm,
dogs. Look at those
but like
dogs.
you're
Those
saying now, like
strong
does
dogs.
it feel like you're like throwing your hips almost forward when you're doing it now?
Yeah, it does.
Because
Yeah,
that's like the
because
same.
It
That's
feels
the
like I'm
same.
leaving the foot behind.
Yeah, that's the same two
that's
analogies I
the
used in
And
terms
also
of
I'm
an ultimate
brushing the
step.
ground more and taking my penalty bit from further, which is also
Mhm.
making a
Yeah,
huge difference.
That's an
definitely.
amazing cue, by the way, leaving the foot behind you.
Yeah.
At least for length purposes, yes, not for
For
exactly
length
for
purposes, I would say
rolling through.
leaving it behind and also like let's say your penultimate is too short. What I did was I switched. So I would right before my penultimate, the step before, I switched my penultimate to that step before. and I got like a whole extra foot, and I thought of leaving my foot
Yeah.
behind and kind of just going through the motions, and it
Mhm.
went way better than I expected, and I actually got the long split penultimate. And when I saw in the video when I go over my technique, because that's what I do for everything when it's weightlifting, jump technique, I look and review. So I saw it and I was just really surprised on how well it looked. And I was like, wow, you know what? This is what I've been wanting for years. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And then that's when I actually took the time to continue to try to fix my technique. And it's been getting better ever since, you know?
That's big W's. So yeah, and then we'll look at this one here. I love this edit, by the way. I love this. This is amazing. Let's just look at. Wait, I don't know. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah,
When I
I can hear it. Like
you could
I can
actually,
hear it.
you guys can hear it. Okay.
In fairness,
I,
in
wa- I
It's a
was
fairness,
I was so
if I
shocked. It was my
I
first time
think
doing it.
I think if I was your age, Jaden, I would have made something worse. So like honestly, this is better than whatever the hell I've made in the past.
no, like yeah, and again, and like I want to add on to that. It's a good
I
first.
because
It's
I
a
thought
good
my
Exactly,
moment
yeah.
for sure.
It's a
parameters
It's a
were
great
good
good.
moment
moment.
like to have.
Or I was 5'5", I think, at the time. I was touching
Okay,
9.8, you
that's
know?
that's valid. It's a good moment, just a
That's
pretty
yeah.
funny edit. But yeah, again, short penultimate. Let me see how that one looks. We're going in slow motion here. Let me turn this down here. Yeah, we'll see the slow motion here. Yeah, pretty much the same. He had a little more length on that, but he was still had the habit of having a short penultimate. Again, yeah, see right there. Um, this is something I was mentioning earlier before the podcast. How like, and again, Travis
You
Reynolds
should
does
point
this
where
a
my
lot.
plant foot is.
Yeah, yeah, here.
The plant before the penultimate.
Yeah. So look right here. Right
That's
here is
the
where your planting.
penultimate. I'm talking about the plant before it.
Oh, the plant before it.
Before it. You see the plant before it? Point your arrow to it. Right there. Wait. No, when I'm extended just a little bit. Like
When you're, oh,
about to start the penultimate, but don't. Right there.
oh, right there.
All right. So that is where I switched my
Oh,
penultimate
oh,
to.
wait, never mind.
Yeah. So I used to take my point to where my penultimate would start.
Like right here.
Yeah. And then I switched it to where the other foot is, which is right there.
So what do you mean exactly?
I was telling you to point your arrow when I said it's right there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
so this is where you planted your
that's where my
penultimate
new
instead.
penultimate is. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I see what you're
I
talking about.
basically switched my foot
Okay.
and
Yeah,
it
I
made it
get you.
longer.
Yeah. So yeah,
Another
no, that's
cue I
like that.
thought of, another good
Hmm.
cue is I think of everything else, like obviously it's all relevant, but when I first started learning the long split penultimate, I would think of everything else to the technique was irrelevant until I got to that point. And that point was basically just takeoff. So I'm just thinking of that one step into the jump. So everything else is just working up to that point, and just that one step is the only step I'm taking. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm,
So I'm only taking one powerful step, but everything else is just a walkthrough.
okay. That does make sense. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did. I would start back a little farther. My ideal position, my ideal where I would ideally play my penultimate step is a little bit ahead of the free throw line. So yeah, no, that's definitely something good to do when you're learning and you have like a short penultimate and you definitely want to take that full step back, especially with like someone as short as like Darshil was or Jayden was. Yeah, that's definitely good advice there. This one's another very funny video. Dude.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yo,
Uh,
Jaden
I
and
can't
we've had
I can't
exit
see the
sign
message.
incidents.
I can't see the message.
you can't see what the message? Oh wait, no,
No,
that's in
that
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
Darshil sent me.
we'll
Oh,
talk
okay.
about it. But
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, so this one I've never tried this personally.
it's fun,
But
Juan.
this is
You should try
I
it.
bet I
You should
bet it
try
is.
it.
I
It's a
bet it
great
is.
thing.
Well, I may
it's
be
very
too old for
beneficial
this
for
now.
your head.
How old are you at this?
Um, 17.
Ah,
17.
shit.
Okay.
Ooh, all
Yeah,
right.
I'm a little old for this. Because then, like, I would have more consequences with this. People would like be more like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro?" But
Yeah, so that
it's the sound, bro. Like, listen to this, bro.
I was in the cross too.
Dude,
Bro,
yeah, and in the Crocs, bro.
bro, Jay, as you guys will continue knowing, Jayden is the danger man. This man will this man will dunk in Crocs, will hit his head in exit signs. None of us could ever.
Oh my God, not the edit.
I'm sorry I had to. But no, it's just look how much you moved it, bro. You could have easily you got so lucky, bro. You could have easily took this whole thing down and gotten in so
I
much
could probably get
trouble.
my head to the ceiling now.
You
Dog. I
probably
mean,
could.
yeah.
You, I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
def.
don't I don't doubt that.
I don't. Yeah. Wait,
I
we got
don't
to show
doubt
the.
that.
We
All
got to
right.
show the good technique.
Oh, good
Yeah, no, no,
technique.
that's
Oh,
what I'm
if you
saying.
want,
Now
are you
that's where
talking
we're
about
at.
the
Yeah.
best technique in the whole thing,
Yes,
or
of
my
course.
highest jump?
We're gonna show all of them.
Yeah, we got to show all of them
What do you want to
because
look first? The highest jump I've had so far, or my good technique?
I mean, I don't know. What do you want to show first? What do you
You
think is
pick.
best for the
You pick.
viewership?
You pick.
All
I'm
right, then
giving you.
let's show first. We'll show the highest jump last, and this one, right?
That's the regular. That's a good technique. Yeah,
Oh, this one with the 10-4.
that's the highest jump.
Okay, so then we'll look at these ones first.
Okay,
So yeah, this is Jayden has
it's
amazing
slow
technique.
mo.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're gonna see here. So we're gonna look at that.
It's kind of a bad angle, but you kind of see I hit
It's
those
not.
positions.
It's honestly a good angle, at least for the penultimate. Obviously not for the
Oh
rhythm,
yeah,
but
yeah. For the penultimate, that was the
so
purpose.
as you see, he's coming up with speed here. So this is a good way to plan because since he's coming up with speed, he's gonna naturally be in the center of mass here.
Look at my heel
Uh,
and look at my hip.
yeah,
They're aligned,
yeah,
almost
exactly.
perfectly.
Almost here. Well, yeah, here it's only because
There,
like
this is where it is. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because like you're coming in with speed, so.
yeah, the general center of mass position is perfect too.
Yeah. So, and then here he rolls off the foot very well while lengthening out here. So you're gonna see he reaches a very good position here. And yeah, he's leading with the knee here as well, and he has a perfect circular arm swing. And then with that, he has a good last two steps here. He gets knee to knee, which is a good sign of getting a quick last two steps with the circular arm swing, and then he's able to transfer all that horizontal momentum. As you can see, he has a lot of internal rotation, so he can get in a
Yeah.
much more ideal position, just like Isaiah Rivera, because he also has a lot of internal rotation. Someone like me or Darshil can't get into positions like this because this would be very uncomfortable for us, and it's not something it would be very natural for our bodies. But with Jayden, he has more internal rotation, so he can really reach this position. So for someone like him, he doesn't have excuses to not be able to reach this position, or a reason, not excuse. Because it's literally like an anatomy thing. But like with that, he does have a really good position here in
Like I
this
can do it how
position.
you guys do it, but it's
Yeah.
more ideal for force
Oh
production
yeah,
to
no,
do it this
100%.
way.
Because I was just about to say, there's an analogy that I thought of. You know how in the movies when a car is stopping, like it's like going really fast, but then it needs to
No,
stop. It like
yeah,
turns and
that's
then it's
what
like.
I brought that up to you guys in Instagram. Remember when we had the old group chat? Well, we
I
still
can't.
do that group chat, but yeah,
I
like
probably wasn't like active
yeah.
at the time.
So I would say that when I think of what for my block foot, I think of my technique. Everything's really fast, and I like to think of my block foot as the brakes. So let's say you're going really, really fast, like 200
Uh huh.
miles per hour, and you hit the brakes, the car's gonna
Yeah.
flip over.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
due to the fact that let's say this is the plant foot, right? Excuse
Hmm.
me. And this is the block foot. Due to the fact that the block foot is angled, and let's say
Hmm.
the plant foot, so this is going forward, right? And this is kind of like a wall, so it's basically stopping right there, and you're shooting straight up because
Yeah.
it's boom at an angle
Yeah.
rather
Exactly.
than perpendicular, or I mean parallel rather than parallel, and it's going forward.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
because you'll
Because
roll forward. This one
yeah.
you're gonna roll this way, so you're gonna
Yeah.
roll up rather than
Exactly.
forward.
If you're forward, you're gonna leak a lot of energy. But when you're at that
Yeah.
angle, I wish I knew like the science behind it. But when you're at that angle, it's just you feel like you can
It's
like stop more.
you're creating more torque.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
creating
okay.
more torque on the ground, and it's it, momentum's not gonna want you to go forward. It's rather
Yeah.
like as much rather than mostly kind of just straight up, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And everything
And
else goes forward when you're
yeah,
landing.
it just really allows you to really have high braking forces to transfer that force upwards.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a beautiful thing, Jayden. You got some good technique here. We'll look at this rim grab here as well.
This one was the
Um,
best one.
yeah, yeah, that one's good. So you can see here. Wait, do you have a? Nah, you didn't. So we'll just do this. So yeah, and then look at his rhythm too. See how he goes up? He doesn't go up at full speed, but he goes up with like he has good coordination too as well.
That's exactly what I was saying before. Is for me, what I like to think of is everything else is just rhythm. It's kind of like everything else is irrelevant, and then once I get to that last step, it's kind of like like the start of a race when you're just shooting
Yeah,
off that step, that first step. So basically everything is boom, 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 it's irrelevant, and then I'm basically just exaggerating that last step into like
yeah.
kind of like a
Did
big
you
depth drop
did
and
yeah?
just speeding up.
Did you study anybody? Cause you have a very like specific run up. Like it looks like very like you have an intentional run up. Like I
What's up?
feel like it's just the way you run up. You could do like a you have a good skip, and then it looks like did
I
you
don't know.
study
I
anybody?
I
Who
watched a
like
lot of Isaiah though. Like that's really where I based off almost all my technique from, and a little bit
really?
of Connor Barth, but that's
I
about
think
it.
I think that run up looks a lot more like Connor Barth. Cause I think because Isaiah's literally told me this before that my technique looks a lot like his. Cause I looked at him a lot. Because of the way he like runs up and he has like the pendulum
Can I
arm
see,
swing
can I
too.
see it again one more time?
Because
Yeah,
I like to do a skip, like a little skip in the beginning for
Yeah,
rhythm.
that's that. No, no,
And
no. That's Connor. That's Connor. That's
yeah.
definitely Connor.
It's the way you
I can
run up to it.
like that.
Yeah.
I've seen Connor do the exact same thing.
I
Yeah.
feel
So
like
I,
almost everybody does like a skip.
but like the way that
No,
you,
no,
I
no, no.
guess
I'm
you.
saying the way. Yeah, the way you run up is what we're trying to say.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Because I'm also like I have a different arm swing, so I have to use like I guess
Yeah.
a different style. I like to
Yeah.
get low. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain.
No, your technique is definitely mirrored a lot by Connor Barth. Cause that's beautiful, bro. Look at
I feel
this.
like
Like he
Connor Barth, he kind of like strides into it, rather than for me, it's kind of like I don't know, it's a little different. I feel
yeah,
like I don't know.
it's probably a little different in some aspects,
Yeah,
but
that's a beautiful position right there.
yeah, like he's like look at this shin angle, the knee angle, the this knee angle, like basically like perpendicular, and then
Look at it. Look
definitely
at the knee to
look at
knee.
getting
Knee to.
knee to knee. This
Yeah.
so
And then
what the knee to knee. If you don't know what this indicates, it indicates that you're getting a quick last two steps. And with the quick last two steps, if you cue obviously having more intent with the quick last two steps, you're able to transfer that force upwards. And then obviously he does that, just that. So then he's able to hang on the rim like a boss. And
no,
then
we
we'll
got to
look at
see the
his
dunk though.
pretty much same thing. This one we got slow motion here, so we could look at this. I'm gonna turn off. So yeah, look at that. This one's even better, bro.
Yeah,
Like
this one. Oh my God.
this.
Oh, that's amazing.
You
That's
lucky
a
busted.
that's amazing. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, no, this is beautiful right here. So yeah, he's really pushing his hips forward right here. Yeah, again, he's got that perpendicular shin, good push off the penultimate. Even less like if you can, it's more ideal to have it like not perpendicular, but like more like your heel as far back as possible when your foot is about to leave the ground. But obviously, like the most of the more times than not, you're gonna have a perpendicular knee angle here. But if you can get your heel more back, then it's gonna be more ideal because then your knee to knee position is gonna be more like you're gonna
It's a lot
reach
easier.
knee to knee. You're gonna
It's a
reach
lot
knee to
easier to
knee.
do, to
Yeah,
time and shit
exactly.
and all that.
You're gonna reach knee to knee before
What do you
hold
mean?
on.
How would I?
You're gonna reach knee to knee before you touch the ground because usually you reach knee to knee right as are about to touch the ground. Like see how you're like right about
So
to touch
you're
the ground, and
saying,
you're reaching knee
so
to
you're
knee.
saying instead of having my knee like this, to have it more like this?
Yeah, like that
Well,
would be more ideal.
yeah.
But I'm saying so
Oh,
most of the
is it
time.
because is it because it comes like it gets to the ground later?
Yeah, exactly.
So it gives
Like
me more
you have
airtime.
more. You have more time on the ground basically while you're still producing that force. But normally you can only reach those positions when you're absolutely fresh. So this is what I was going to show you as an example of. Let's see here if we can find the video. It's one of Isaiah. It's the one where you got 50.5. I think I could. It's better to find this on Instagram.
I think it's
When you got 50.5 like the second time.
I think it's a little interesting when I think about it in terms of like how it looks like. It looks a lot like B skip, like in track.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's why they actually have us. So you can't see it here, but in this video, yeah, look, see, he reaches knee to knee before he hits the ground. So
Yeah, that's
ideally,
what I was doing. Was I
yeah,
not?
exactly. No.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
he's
that's exactly
he's
what you're
like,
doing. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say that. He just hit the ground, but I'm saying this is like this is very slight. Like this is a very slight difference, but you can only reach those like crazy positions when you're fresh. Like obviously Jayden has been jumping a lot and working on his game here. But I'm saying like look, see,
Am I
he's
touching the
needing
ground in there? I don't know.
you're like basically like you're like literally like about to. And here he's like if you look here, you're about to touch you're basically touching the ground. You're like a fucking hair away. And then here, look, see, he has like a little bit of space there. He reaches knee to knee before he touches the ground again.
How does it look in the other jump that I had?
Um,
I think if I remember correctly,
this
it's a
one.
little bit more perpendicular.
Okay, that one is.
Like perpendicular at like when you're about to push, like if you go back a little bit.
So yeah, here, like right as you touch the ground, you get knee to knee.
Wait,
Like right as you're about
try,
to touch the ground.
can you get like 1 second, like a little bit before that? I don't know.
I can try it. I can try it too,
Yeah.
but I don't think I know. I don't know the keys for it.
Well, I
Wait,
mean, like 1 frame, I
no,
guess.
no, that's hard here. I can't do that. Wait, I can. Uh, that's like one frame.
Oh,
I can go
I would
another
do.
frame.
I feel like. Also, that's another thing is he had a better camera,
Oh, 100%. I mean, no, but dude,
so
with your
he has more
dude,
frames to to actually see it
yeah.
Hmm.
and a different
But look,
angle too.
look, bro, with your technique, when you're fresh, you could reach those positions. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
But now we'll look
Okay,
at your
let's try the highest jump I had.
yeah. To be
The ten
honest,
four.
Yeah.
what
Well,
rim height is this? 9'11"?
9'10".
9'10". Oh, 9'10".
Now the other one I'm trying to get nine. I think this one I
Yeah,
get to that position.
but that makes me think that this probably isn't your highest jump,
I
just due to
mean,
the fact that one reason you're outside, and two, you were able to
oh,
dunk.
my highest
Like
outdoor jump. That's what I meant to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this would definitely be your highest outdoor jump, and he reaches good positions here as well. So again, same thing. Same thing. We've been talking about it like over and
You
over
see how
again.
long the penultimate was?
You see
Yep.
this? You
Oh my
see this?
God.
You see
It
this?
looks
You see this
amazing.
position right here? This is the position you want to be in. We've already talked about this, so now just watch as this beautiful. So yeah. All right. So
Check to see if I get a little bit airtime up when knee to knee.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. I got
We check that.
That's what I was trying to
We can
see.
check that.
pretty sure you do. I'm pretty confident that. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, right again. Yeah, right as you're about to touch it. Like this is like tiny
I
tiny
don't
bit in
even
the
think
air.
I'm like by the ground there. And wait,
Yeah.
Well,
You,
no,
try
no,
to get like
you're
one
definitely.
frame less. Try to get 1 frame less because I'm transitioning there.
This is difficult.
I know.
I
Uh,
mean, I can get a slowed down video edited right
You
now if you guys want.
hold on. I could probably
uh,
get a photo of it.
all right, so yeah, just so we can show you guys what
I'm
we
gonna try
mean
that
by
thing
like
you
getting
said. I'm gonna try it
what.
today. Where I angle my knee like this more rather than like this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it's just gonna get it so you get like the right positioning more times than not. But yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
this is
try
what
that
it
for
looks
sure.
like when you reach knee to knee before you hit the ground. So right here, he's before you hit the ground, he's hitting knee to knee right here, and then right here as he hits the ground, he's past knee to knee. And with the momentum he's going at, this position is gonna get him a 50.5-inch jump. Oh wait, never mind. That wasn't even it. That wasn't even it.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
jump
like that's
close to it. A jump close to it.
That was a
wait.
50-inch jump.
Oh, here we are. Here we are. Here. Oh, wait, that's 50-inch jump, not a 50.5. Oh wait,
Hold
no,
on.
he did get a 50.5 right here.
Yeah, he did. He did. We gotta
In
go.
the video he did, yeah.
All right, let's look. Let's go back a little bit here. Look at this guy.
All
Look at
right,
it.
look at this. Oh my God.
Oh my
Wait, can I
Not
god.
see
even.
his knee?
He
No, no,
reaches
no.
knee to knee. Look at his face.
He
That's
hasn't even
crazy.
got knee to knee before he even Oh my. Or he's
Dog.
gone
Wait,
past it before.
Look at
wait,
Oh
it.
my.
Yeah,
can I
look.
see his knee position when he goes into the knee drive?
It's very similar to yours, Jayden.
Like
Actually.
here. Here.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah, you're
something
right.
similar.
No, it is, yeah. It's
Yeah,
similar.
That
and
is
look.
He's
that is
kind of
crazy.
dropping his hip down a little bit, which gets
That
him
is
into it.
that's
Yeah, but
crazy.
look at how far he's above the ground, and then he gets past knee to knee, even like barely still above the ground, and then right here, look at him, look at this, dog. This is how you know he's converting that force, and then he got that force. Look at this 50.5. Look at this force, such force. Look at this, wow. Look at that, look
Oh
at this
my
guy.
God.
Imagine, dude.
It felt like he was busting.
Sadyar's got the best view of this, bro. This is like, bro. He's probably looking at it like, and then he touches it. And then look at when they take the pictures, bro. From Sadyar's point of view, it looked like he was rising up to heaven, bro. Look at and then he touches it.
Yo, word.
Yeah, and then we also wanted to look at Connor Barth's technique, how like he has a very similar run up to Connor Barth. So like
Yo,
Jaden's
you know what I
technique is like a
noticed?
mix.
His when he extends his leg, it looks like Austin Burke.
When
But
Connor
yeah,
extended.
it does, yeah,
Yes.
but not as much because he
Yeah.
looks
The
like he has
shin
more head
angle. The
movement.
shin
Yeah.
angle. The
The
shin
shin angle,
angle. Look,
Shin angle?
go back to the shin angle. Hold on. Yeah,
like.
right there.
I guess.
No. When it's straight.
What do you mean? Like which shin? Which like?
I don't know. Like you see how fast he goes into like the straight leg?
Yeah.
It reminds me of like
Oh,
Austin Burke.
oh God. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, he gets into more of like a straight
Yeah.
leg.
You
I
see?
see what you mean. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's dirt, bro. You guys see
Yeah, I
this?
see.
This guy's right here. And then yeah, we were looking at Jaden's thing by the way. He also got a very similar position. He got knee to knee a little before the air, and then as he's touching the ground, he's getting a little past knee to knee. But then yeah, Isaiah's got that elite past knee to knee coverage. So yeah, that's again when you're getting knee to knee, it's a good indicator that you're gonna have a good last two steps. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's podcast. We're definitely gonna have a part two to this because we got a lot more to cover. So stay tuned for that. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. If you have any like suggestions for what we can do in future podcasts, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, like as well. Follow us if you're on Spotify. Leave us 5 stars. And our socials will be in the description below if you want to check out our keep up to date with all of our journeys. So that's gonna be the end of this one. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.
All right. See you guys.